Alrighty, guys, welcome to Humpday Pumpday, the special segment for your distant neighbor. I am excited, as always. Brian Bogert, welcome.
Well, thank you. I'm so excited to get this Humpday Pumpday started. Bring energy, bring a little bit of fire and motivation, perspective, direction to all of those listening. This is going to be such a great opportunity. And Jeff, thank you for inviting me to do this with you.
Hey, man, I'm stoked, and our listeners are stoked. And so, give us a little bit into your background and kind of what you do. I know you and I did a whole episode, but Humpday Pumpday is ultimately going to be a session every Wednesday where you and I jump on and we talk about a relevant topic, an inspiring topic, something to get you pumped for the rest of your week, right? I mean, that's the Humpday Pumpday. So, give us a little intro into what you do on a day-to-day basis with performance coaching and motivating and speaking and everything in that vein.
Perfect. Yeah. So I am a peak performance coach and motivational speaker. I work with executives, high-capacity, growth-minded individuals to help them get to their next level of performance and become better versions of themselves tomorrow than they are today. And I got into this world through a whole variety of directions, but have had extreme personal and professional adversity in my life, have had to really apply the concepts of mental toughness in multiple areas of my life. And I've gotten to be able to work with some phenomenal professionals across the country to really be able to help them tap into their deeper level of purpose, think bigger, believe before doing, and find those most important daily implementable actionable steps to help drive them towards a greater and higher level of success on a holistic basis, both personally, professionally, and on a selfless basis with those in the community. So I get so excited to work with those types of individuals, and I get so excited to work with organizations to get in front of their teams of people, help them think bigger, look for motivational topics, look for ideas and ability to overcome adversity, tap into the power of a team, cultivating meaningful relationships, you name it. If there's the ability to get in front of a group of people and help provide passion, perspective, direction, motivation, I love that opportunity. So that's what I get to do. I'm blessed to be in that position, and I'm excited to be able to do this Humpday Pumpday with you.
Appreciate you being on. And for me, a huge thing, kind of in the vein of what you just said, is perspective. And I think that's kind of what this session is going to be about, where we're going to talk about a topic, and you're going to help us break it down so that we can have the right perspective so we can implement it, right? And that's, to me, I think a roadblock for a lot of individuals is if they don't have that perspective, they don't understand why, and they don't know how, right? So let's talk about, and we'll jump right into our topic. This week, for the first Humpday Pumpday episode, we thought it'd be fitting to talk about taking action, right? For me and for others and for a lot of people, I know taking action can be tough, especially on new projects. And that's kind of why we chose it for Humpday Pumpday. This is a new segment of ours. And taking action is something people struggle with, right? And so do you have any tips, and let's just start the discussion around taking action and how important that is for getting things done and turning, ideas into, actionable dreams, right?
Yeah, perfect. So, the most simplistic way to think about this for me is this basic statement that ideas without action are wasted. And I think that there are multiple factors in people's lives that withhold them from just taking the first step, taking a little bit of momentum and just moving into whatever they want to desire, right? Fear is a big motivator for people, right? What if I do this and it doesn't succeed? I think a better question is, what if I do this, or what if I don't do this, right? And what's going to happen? So the reality of it is that, you've got to make sure that you are moving forward. So Lao Tzu, a philosopher, once said that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. So oftentimes people have this idea, or they feel torn, or in a professional setting or within the community, they just lack taking action. So they think that they're going to do something, but then they never implement the steps that are necessary to drive towards that. So whether it be professionally or personally, right, the idea is just take the first step, overcome fear, and move forward and take action in your life. Because when you do that, the results are often profound. I was working with a guy actually this week, and he is a top performer in the financial services industry. He's in the executive ranks of a Fortune 100 company, and just one of the most talented individuals that I've ever worked with. He's got this ability and this desire to kind of go in a different direction. And the question that he asked me is, am I being irresponsible? Am I being immature? Am I not thinking through this to take the strategic step forward that's going to benefit my family and take us to the next level? And the reality of it is, I would almost argue that it's irresponsible for him not to follow that dream, for him not to take action, because he is absolutely way too talented. There is way too much opportunity for him. And, that's generally what will separate the average and the mediocre from the greatness, from the outliers in our world. Because typically the most successful people have failed way more times than they succeed. And it's because they take action. And it's a simple step, right? Just take action. Move forward. Do something different in your day. Get comfortable being uncomfortable and constantly push yourself forward. Because without that, right, you're going to remain in the same spot for the remainder of your life. Or make moderate, mild changes that will help move you forward.
I love it. The one thing where you kind of talk about, being comfortable, being uncomfortable, I think resonates in a big way. There's always this strange thing that seems to happen. An individual has a good idea, they get excited about it, right? Maybe they start talking about it and start bringing people in. But right before it gets implemented, all those fears start to creep in. What's up with that? Is there a reason for that, or is that just human nature? And then, to your point about, being comfortable, being uncomfortable, I know to a certain degree you just have to get used to that if you want to actually start to implement, what you want to implement, right?
Yeah. I do think fear is natural, right? And I think those that have the ability to overcome that fear and basically compartmentalize it in their life so that they can just put the fear aside and move forward, right? That doesn't mean be stupid. That doesn't mean just go have reckless action, right? You can still be strategic in your approach and taking action. But the reality of it is yes, I think the more you do it, the easier it is to compartmentalize that fear, the easier it is to overcome that fear. The problem is a lot of people don't take that first step, right? And so, it can be described in even something as simple as so many people who always talk about, right, in a new year or in a new environment that they want to lose 15 pounds or they want to change their diet and their nutrition. But what do? They don't ever implement the daily actionable steps to make the right decisions around what they're going to eat or create a routine or a habit or move forward to go create that gym membership or find the trainer that they need to give them the expertise or set up an environment in their home so they can create 25 or 30 minutes a day to be able to create that physical activity, right? So a lot of times it is fear that keeps that from starting people moving forward, but sometimes it's just the lack of action. And so I think getting comfortable, getting uncomfortable is exactly that idea, where the more you do it, right, the more you push yourself beyond your comfort zone, the more you're going to grow. The faster taking action is going to happen in every capacity of your life. It's just kind of a simple concept where if you get comfortable, and the more comfortable you get getting uncomfortable, right, whenever you find yourself in a position of comfort, you're like, okay, what do I need to change? What do I need to mix up? What do I need to take action on? What do I need to implement so that I can grow and get to that next level? It just becomes second nature where all of a sudden being comfortable is actually uncomfortable, right? So that's really the evolution that people need to get themselves to, is overcome that fear, take action, implement, and it doesn't matter what category in their life it's in.
Awesome stuff. And a big thing, like you talked about, is the routine, right? Where a lot of what we do is something we've done over and over again, and that's the comfort thing as well. So, I like being comfortable, being uncomfortable is huge. And then the other aspect too that I always like to think about is something like fear. Usually our reactionary emotions are built into us for a variety of reasons, and usually none of them are. A lot of them aren't useful for us in the moment, especially when we're trying to do something that's ultimately going to benefit us, right? And so, great insight, Brian. I love it. And so, anything else you want to touch on with taking action?
I would just encourage anybody who's listening, right? If there's an idea that you've had, if you've had a concept, a thought, whether it be personally, professionally, with your fitness, with your nutrition, with your relationships, it doesn't matter what the category is. If you have an idea, you've wanted some change, you've wanted some growth, or you see an opportunity out in the world that you aren't currently capitalizing on, right? The one takeaway from this call is just think about that. What steps can you implement today, right after you get done listening to this, to start moving the ball forward in that, so that you can take action and implement in your life to have growth and profound change, right? I think a simple concept, and I learned this from my own personal performance coach, is that everything you need is already in you. So don't let the fear prevent your steps in moving forward. Take action on whatever that may be, and you will see a profound difference in your life. I guarantee it.
And if you need that little extra motivation, that's why they have performance coaches, right? That's why they have physical trainers. That's why they have people there who are able to push you. And
that's right.
you can also implement that so that those become a part of your life and those help you push forward. So,
and I think that's a great point, Jeff. That's something I actually forgot to mention, is that if you don't know where to start, right? Like if you don't know how to get going, if you don't know the expertise, you don't have the resources, you don't have the wherewithal to be able to implement on this idea, find someone who is, right? There are subject matter experts in our world that can help you get to that next level. Whether it's a performance coach, a nutritional coach, a trainer, or just if you want to start investing in real estate, find someone who invests in real estate and pick their brain and figure out what are the steps that you need to do to move forward. Find the expert and leverage the ability and the action of other people for you to implement action in your own life.
Great stuff. And one thing, too, and I like pulling in someone who knows what they're doing, because that'll help you give yourself a roadmap to what actions you actually need to take, right? So many times I see people who believe they're taking action, but they really subconsciously know they're taking action on maybe the wrong thing or something that's going to, divert them from their actual goal, just because they're saying, hey, I'm really interested in doing X, Y, and Z, but I need to make sure I've got my website set up first. I need to make sure I've got the perfect, business plan before I can actually execute on that. And really they're just kind of pushing the ball down the road a little bit, because they are scared, because that fear does creep in, or because, again, it's easier being comfortable than uncomfortable. And so finding an expert to say, hey, this is the one thing you need to focus on, or these are the things you need to tackle, or this is the license you need to get, and then just going and doing it is huge.
Yeah, and I think I'll just kind of comment to the listeners. I mean, that's exactly what you did with this Humpday Pumpday, right? I mean, there was an idea, there was this concept, there was this ability to be able to do something on a regular basis to provide value to your listeners, and you and I were brainstorming about it, and right, you just did it. You said, great, let's get it on the calendar, let's schedule it, let's get rolling, let's provide some value to our listeners in a unique way outside of our traditional, what we're doing. And so, I mean, you just demonstrated taking action without overthinking, and I think this is going to be a meaningful thing, hopefully, to the listeners. But way to take action, right, Jeff? Way to take action, way to lead, way to demonstrate that's exactly what you need to do. You just got to move forward. So,
great stuff. All right, thank you everyone for listening to Humpday Pumpday. A few things, as always, subscribe to us on iTunes. You can find these episodes there, Google Play, yourdistantneighbor.com. Brian, where can we find you, man?
So you can find me on pretty much all the social media platforms at Bogert Brian, Bogert, Brian with an I. You can find me at brianbogert.com, and that's a great place to start. And one of the things that you'll also notice is that I've got a weekly video blog that's going to be bringing different topical ideas that are traditionally 2 to 3 minutes, so that might also be some additional value. You can find me at the Brian Bogert Companies on YouTube. So feel free to reach out however I can help you guys.
Awesome. And I'm at, as you guys know, at Jeffrey Buettner. And then if you guys have specific topics you want us to address, if you have specific questions you'd like us to talk about, you can find both of us on Twitter. Just, shoot us up a tweet, and you can hashtag it Humpday Pumpday, and we'd be happy to bring that on for one of the episodes. So awesome job, Brian. Have fun encouraging people and motivating them, and travel in the world, dude.
Thank you, brother. We'll look forward to talking with you all next week.